What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Deadpool and Wolverine, aka Deadpool 3. So we're going to talk about the so-called original ending and the original whole plot for Deadpool and Wolverine, which is actually very different to the movie that came out over 2 weeks ago. Doing very well, although according to Disney's latest earnings call, the stock is at its all-time low, but it is still bodying Warner Bros. Discovery, which is at its all-time lowest stock ever. Please, somebody buy Warner Bros. So you can make DC good again. So if you remember, there was this overhyped, hyperbolic, alleged post-credit scene that was somehow backed up by Rob Liefeld that was supposed to be so out of this world. And then you actually find out what it is, and it wasn't even close to that. So we're going to go over this. Why? Because we covered Deadpool 3 a lot on this channel. I feel like I owe it to you to go over this kind of stuff. And I'm going to tell you what I heard the actual post-credit scene was. Obviously, the movie's been out over 2 weeks now. We know the post-credit scene was just a gag. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? Watch you are new around, make sure to never miss any of the Marvel DC KSU monsterverse pop culture-based content that I try to cover personally on a daily basis. Good, subscribe channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below how freaking excited are you for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We have D23 coming up this weekend, so we could get some cool Marvel stuff. Hopefully it's not Disney Plus shows that no one cares for. So if you could subscribe to the channel, also if you could become a channel member for less than 9p, and also if you could follow us on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, and follow us on Twitter at WarstuG. So if you remember, Resident Scooper, that's about as reliable as... Oh my god, this is too good. I'm not going to ruin this, but the post-credit scene Deadpool Wolverine is so mind-blowing. I can't believe they were able to pull this off without anyone knowing. Then Rob Liefeld chimes in. He ain't lying to you. Okay. Mind-blowing post-credit scene. Okay. Everyone thought, yo, it's Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man scene. Okay. I don't actually think this is real what they're saying, but you know on the channel, we cover everything. There's no way of actually knowing. Although Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy have come out and said a lot of stuff that was rumored was actually true. They just never filmed it. Like the whole X-Men death scene was supposed to be in some capacity, or it was at least an idea at one point. So we had this over hyperbolic post-credit scene allegedly being in the movie. So I was told constantly the scene had something to do with Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, some multiverse team forming, and all this kind of stuff. So we're going to go over what the actual alleged ending is. So the apparent real post-credit scene that was never actually filmed and was never probably an idea, but let's go over it. Why not? So the post-credit scene was supposed to be Deadpool returning again to the Avengers Tower and finally getting to meet Mr. Tony Stark. Obviously, this would have been in the past, probably the same timeline where we've seen Happy Hogan at the start of the movie, and Tony Stark himself rejects the idea. Now, what is interesting here is if they were to get Robert Downey Jr. back in this capacity, Marvel would have had to pay $10 to $20 million for this cameo role. But 2 days later, Robert Downey Jr. gets revealed to be Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday. So let me get it straight. Let's go back to the tweet. So mind-blowing, I can't believe they were able to pull it off. And what do we actually get? A Johnny Storm rant about Cassandra Nova. With Deadpool, we got a few teases to Gambit still being alive, and a bunch of teases to basically none of the Resistance dying, really. If you really look into the post-credit scene for Deadpool and Wolverine, actually, there was a lot going on the screens, like, you know, the Thor crime bit and so on and so forth. So let me get it straight. Mind-blowing, and it's this. So let me get it straight. They get RDJ back for Avengers 5 and 6, but he wouldn't jump in. They had RDJ signed a long time before San Diego Comic-Con. They could have done this scene if it was actually real. So let's go on to say. So apparently the original plot for the movie was supposed to start with the TVA arresting Wade for messing with Cable's time machine. I remember reading this on a Reddit post about 3 years ago. Whilst he is in prison, he overhears the TVA is looking to recruit anchor beings from across the multiverse to create an army to fight Kangs. So not only is this scooper saying we were supposed to get Tony Stark, we were supposed to be getting the Kangs. Seeing as they backed away from the Kang storyline over 6 months ago, this was never, and this would have had to be filmed if this was the original plot, which I don't believe it actually was. But go on, this is like a fan-made kind of post from a scooper that's got a lot of credibility, but I don't understand how they do. And they were supposed to be searching for a version of Logan. Wade decides to escape and find the ultimate Logan before they do, bringing him to his world to be his best friend forever, since he tried to be BBS with him for years, but the one from his world is now dead. From there, the plot is pretty similar to what we actually got, with them traveling through the multiverse, which would have also give a more logical explanation for the scene at the Avengers Tower with Happy Hogan. In the end, they still end up in the void, and from there, it mostly follows the same path. Johnny Storm talking about Cassandra Nova was the original ending, while the original post-credit scene was supposed to be Deadpool returning to the Avengers Tower and finally getting to meet Mr. Tony Stark himself. Now, if anyone could have used their celebrity likeliness, their celebrity persona, how well they are liked, Ryan Reynolds most likely could have got Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark in this movie if he wanted to. I don't even believe this was up for discussion, because if they got rid of Kang over 6 months ago, you know, Loki season 2 ended so long ago, right? There would be no way would they put Tony Stark in this movie, knowing that they were setting up Doctor Doom, Avengers Doomsday, because this Avengers Doomsday storyline and movie, it's not just got a title change overnight. It's not just suddenly happened. It happened a long time ago. It just never came out. So I do find it funny how this information, it's got, what, nearly 1 million impressions on Twitter. It's going viral. Everyone's re-reporting the original post-credit scene. But the original post-credit scene that I was told behind the scenes was Tony Stark, Iron Man, from the multiverse, setting up some Avengers massive team to take out this multiversal threat. So it's not even close to this. And then if you go back to this tweet again, mind-blowing. I'm not going to ruin, but this post-credit scene in Deadpool and Wolverine is so mind-blowing. I can't believe they were able to pull it off. Well, they didn't pull it off, and you lied. And then Rob Liefeld chimed in, he ain't lying to you. Okay, interesting. I get it. You want to hype stuff up, and the movie's doing well. It will hit $1 billion, most likely by the end of the weekend. Inside Out 2 is on just under 1.6 billion. Will Deadpool and Wolverine actually beat Inside Out 2? Not a chance in hell. Because though Deadpool and Wolverine is still doing very good, it's a very good movie, it is starting to lose steam. It is starting to slow down massively. But because we covered a lot of the leaks and the rumors for Deadpool and Wolverine, I wanted to cover the alleged original plot for Deadpool and Wolverine. So he was going to use Cable's time-traveling device. They'll form an army to take out the Kangs. It is interesting because with Deadpool and Wolverine, although I basically had the whole plot, it was quite self-contained, like massively self-contained, to be honest. So is this the original plot? I think a lot of the scoopers are currently taking big L's. They're getting community noted, which is a really cool thing about Twitter. But I don't really mind, to be fair. Because on this YouTube channel, we do everything. Trailer breakdowns, movie reviews, kind of. Ending explains, plot breakdowns, plot leaks, so-called rumors, so-called Twitter scoops that we cover from the Twitter sphere and stuff like that. So I basically cover everything. So I wanted to cover this because I find it interesting that basically someone has basically had an idea, but like, yo, okay, there was Happy Hogan in the scene, so I can make out Tony Stark was supposed to meet Deadpool right at the end of the movie, and I can get some Twitter clout or something like that. That's my interpretation of how this information actually got out. I don't know, but Iron Man Tony Stark was never going to appear in this movie, ever. Not after the big reveal of him becoming Doctor Doom. Never going to happen, but interesting to go over it. What do you think? Do you think this was a better storyline than the original movie that we actually got? By the original movie, I mean the actual movie that we got. I don't think this would have been any better because how are they setting up the Kangs when the Kang storyline is actually dead? Might not be though, because Kevin Feige won't actually come out and answer that question. He dodged it during the press junket. He's like, I'm going to respectfully not say anything. So does that mean Kang still has to appear in some capacity? I hope Kang does appear in some capacity because to get rid of him fully without any explanation or at least an off-screen explanation would suck because we've had the whole Loki build-up, we've had the Ant-Man 3 build-up, we've had a bunch of people talking about Kang, and just an off-screen, like, killing them off, and Doctor Doom kills them off in the opening scene. I mean, hopefully they do something like that if they are really going to not feature Kang, the Conqueror, in any capacity. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face man, the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu G. And I'll catch you in another video, guys. Very soon. Catch you later.